no changes in any other years. If it's freshman, JV, or varsity, and you issue a red card that requires a 2-game suspension, make sure you get the name and number of the player you ejected before you leave the field. You must contact the athletic director by noon the next day, and then you can contact me and I can help you through the next steps in filling out the form. This year, we're also doing something different. We are tracking yellow cards issued to coaches. If you issue a yellow card to a coach, just send me a text message or an email. Tell me the coach's name and the school, and we'll keep track of that as well. The last thing I had to go over is pre-game conference with your partner. I guess this is something we should do before every game, but maybe this year it might be a little more important. There is a lot of rule changes over the season, which you saw through Ed Seaver's presentation. Make sure you talk with your partner how you're going to handle drop balls, what happens when the ball hits an official. A big one would be positioning on corner kicks. You know, the new rule wants us to be behind the corner flag. I was talking to Michelle. I was like, okay, if I'm at Haddon Township, it's a 55-yard field. I can get behind the corner flag and see a lot of what's going on. But if I'm at Washington Township and it's an 80-yard field, if I stand behind that corner flag, you know, all that action in front of the goal, I'm way out of position. So I think it's a good topic to go over before the game with your partner and make sure you know where you're going to be on what position and who's responsible for what. One other thing I like to always discuss in the pregame with my partner is whistles on restarts. Who's in charge of hitting the whistle on the restart? Usually good eye contact with your partner to let you know if a whistle's required, who's going to hit that whistle, and make sure you're on the same page. I also had a couple people are asking about socks. I haven't heard any change in socks from the state. Me personally, I only wear 2-stripe socks anymore because we can't use 3 stripes in the youth game. So if you still have the 3 stripes, you're allowed to wear them. You're supposed to match your partner. So if you want to wear 3 stripes, I suggest you talk to your partner before the game. Otherwise, our standard is 2-stripe socks from now on. And that's all I have. Thank you. Michelle, you're on mute.
Thanks. All right. Thank you, Jeff. And Jim Wells, Treasurer's Report. Hang on one second. Jim, you're muted.
Now I'm not. Ready?
Perfect. Video and audio.
Hey, that's a big thing for me, guys. Treasurer's Report. We had an executive board meeting on 2/24 this past year. We had $28,395.26 at that point in time. We currently have in the bank $31,782.10. Where the money's been coming from, as you can see, we got most of it is from schools starting to pay now and member dues, the stragglers paid up. Let's see, and then paid out wise, we spent $7,500, most of which went to John. And then we've had we had like $160 worth of banquet expenses from last year that I didn't get a bill to until this year. And then we've been spending some money trying to get the books out to you guys this year with USPS expenses and envelope expenses, which is kind of abnormal for us. That's about it. Any questions? All right, Michelle, back to you.
All right. Okay. Jim Griffin. You on here?
I'm here.
Where are you? Okay. Anything about uniforms? I saw some of the, on the one site I looked at, it said they were back ordered. Is that?
Yeah, that happens every year.
We
Well,
have
the
ZebraWeb
whole-
and shit uniforms.
Yeah, the whole industry is in back order right now because of COVID, because most of this stuff comes from overseas. So
Okay.
that's going to affect everyone. But the actual official NJSIAA uniform shirts are available from allsportsofficials.com. They're the company in Pennsylvania that sells the New Jersey jerseys. But I Googled those jerseys and found there's a couple other companies up in North Jersey that are starting to sell them as well. Although nobody down here in South Jersey is allowed to sell them. So that's a NJSIAA thing that they're handling who's allowed to sell them. So basically, you can only get them online. Any other apparel or uniform officials uniform items can be bought at officialsports.com online. They have everything, as well as some of the local vendors. The Soccer Post in Cherry Hill is the one I know of, and then our location I work at, Sports Paradise in Medford, we have everything, and if we don't have it, I can get it for you. We're an official sports dealer, so we get the same stuff that you get online. Also, at this point, there's no banquet this year. I think everybody might be aware of that already. And also no sportsmanship award at this point because there's not going to be any coaches banquet, and we don't think that there's going to be any awards be given out this year. If that does change, I'll let everybody know immediately. I think that's it.
Is Mike Otto, are you on here?
Yeah, I'm
Mike
here.
Otto. Okay, I just
Yeah.
unmuted you. Hey, have you guys heard anything about, I don't know if you would know, if they're doing any awards still or anything like that?
From what I heard, that what you were saying, the South Jersey Bank was definitely canceled.
Mm-hmm.
As far as awards, I believe they're canceled as well.
Okay.
Don't quote me on it, but I'm almost positive they said that they were going to be canceled.
It's kind of tough with the shortened season, to really get a good feel on who
For them all to really show their stuff.
Yeah, and you can't even the sportsmanship, you can't help people, pick people up. There's things you can't do to even show sportsmanship, even with this. So,
well, it might be harder for teams to get red cards, so maybe some teams that weren't previously eligible might be.
Doug Schmidt just said only scholarships, no all-stars.
Only scholarships, no all-stars. Okay. Sorry, Doug. I didn't know if Doug was pouring beers, if he would be able to, answer. Okay. Couple questions that came up.
Question.
Oh,
Sorry.
Jim Wells? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
We usually give a scholarship, right?
Yes.
Are we still going to do it?
So we usually give a scholarship with the money that we donate from the fee from doing the games for the tournament.
Correct.
So the Coaches Association does want to know if we still want to do it or not. Do we have the money there to do that?
Well, we could do it. I mean, since we're not having a banquet, we got a little bit extra money. If you want to continue on with the scholarship, that's cool. Just let me know.
Or we do it by motion.
I think we should do it because this way it keeps something continuous, something normal. And to be honest with you, some of these kids may actually need the money.
I'd make a motion, we continue to do it.
I second.
Great. Secretary, you recorded that? All right, cool. Okay. All right, couple quick questions that came up. I just don't want to get too far off of this. Jason Rose asked who's assigning the playoffs. As of now, I believe it's still Rich Papperman.
Michelle, point of input. You did not have a vote on it. You did have first and a second, but no vote. You can't have a motion go without a vote.
So,
Yeah, I seconded it, and basically what we should probably do is a thumbs up, and everybody on the screen, and you can count that
all
way.
right,
It'd be a lot easier.
let me flip through the screen. So, okay, so that's fine. I'll do it that way. So everybody, I have to flip through 6 screens. So if everybody can
Why can't we just do a voice vote?
It's a lot easier for her to see the thumbs on the screen. So all in favor, put your thumb up until she tells us to put it down.
Anyone not in favor?
That's thumb,
is
not
anyone
finger.
not in favor?
Anyone not in favor? Do it that way.
Yeah,
Thanks,
it's
All right,
probably-
anyone not in
probably
favor,
less.
thumb up.
Thumb, not finger.
I was thinking the same thing, Jim.
You got it.
All right, I think everybody's
It would be easier for Michelle if she just did not in favor voice.
not in favor. Anyone not in favor?
Correct, voice. Just say yes or no. If it's no, just speak up, otherwise be quiet.
Yeah. I don't hear anybody not in favor. So,
I heard crickets.
all right. So
Okay, the
let's
vote
carry on the
passed, yes.
scholarship.
Moving
Okay.
on.
Moving on. All right. Sub-varsity game lengths is 35 minutes.
Is that
Michelle, the contract reads 35 minutes unless the coaches decide otherwise, which means down, not up.
Perfect. The tracking of carded coaches. So it's not statewide, it's just our chapter. Without getting too far into it, we had an issue where we had some repeat offenders and we didn't want to make too many generalizations. So we said, let's just gather facts. We're not doing anything with that yet. Right now, we're just gathering the data so that we have it. So we have it. Don't tell me you didn't know it was a problem when you were told in this many games it was a problem, right? That's the idea. Can we look into a U.S. manufacturer for uniforms?
Excuse me, sorry. I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah,
Did
hey.
you just say the JV game for 35 minutes?
Yep.
My AD told me they were the same length as the varsity.
Yeah, it's all
Okay, the contract reads, sub-varsity contests will consist of 35-minute halves unless otherwise agreed upon by the athletic director or his designee. And the meeting that Michelle, John Harnett, and I attended, that doesn't mean it goes up to 40. It can go down to 30. It just can't go up to 40.
correct.
It's a 35-minute max and a half.
Yeah, he told us differently. He told us go to 40 minutes, but if he wanted to play 35 minutes, cut it short.
It's always
But,
been 35.
Right, that's what I said. All right, just making sure. And I'll relay that message back to my AD.
All right, cool. Thank you. No, we're not in trouble if we buy from any other vendor. You can buy the rest of your gear from wherever, but the jerseys are only the NJSIAA jerseys. I don't know that they're sold anywhere else except to certain vendors.
Yeah, I was saying,
who always have it backwards.
if you Google it, there are a few companies in North Jersey that are starting to sell them. But
Okay.
I don't know if they're official or not.
So
Yeah.
whatever other information, Jim, you get on that, just kind of let everybody know so that people have options since they're being back ordered.
Yeah, the official, allsportsofficials.com is supposedly the official vendor for our jerseys. Anybody else, I don't know that they are, but it looks like there might be other people selling them. So whoever has them, that's great. If the other
Get a shirt, right? If the official vendor doesn't have them available, get a shirt, right?
Yep.
Okay. Hartnett is still working on finishing the coaches meeting. It got messed up. So he will join us as soon as he can. As somebody asked about meetings. So the reason we wanted to have a meeting is not just for the sake of having a meeting, but because there's so much new information, changes, all that stuff. So we just wanted to make sure, yeah, you get a million emails, but wanted to make sure everybody had the important information. So as of right now, we may or may not have another meeting this season. We'll kind of see how it goes. If we do, it would be the same format for an hour. Okay, so Nelson, you on here?
Yes, Nelson's here.
Yeah, Michelle, I'm ready when you are.
All right, yep, go.
All right, everybody. Obviously, the COVID outbreak has kind of changed around some of the procedures that we have to adhere to. One thing to take note is that every school is different. You're going to see schools that do allow spectators. Eastern allows spectators. Morristown does not. So school to school is going to be different. Upon arrival, as you're walking up to the field, have your mask on. Usually you'll get intercepted by administrators. Twice now that on my way up to the field, someone took my temperature. So every school is going to be different. So we're going to take it that we're going to approach the field with a mask. And as far as keeping the mask on, introduce yourselves to the coaches and then kind of congregate with yourself and your partner. That being said, at halftime, you're going to put your mask back on, and then you're going to leave with your mask. During the game, avoid extra conversations with coaching staffs as well as players that are questioning your calls. Just maintain all conversations to a minimum. It's sad but true, but it does come down to common sense. And the biggest thing is I guess the first point is that every school is different. So make sure you ask either the coaches or the administrator what exactly they want you to do as far as half times and that type of situation.
Oh.
Does anybody have any questions about
Yeah, what are you doing?
the
You know
COVID policy and how we're going to approach it?
Yeah, I was playing a game on my phone.
Just use your heads, be smart, and just be aware that as the game progresses, there's going to be a lot of sweat and spit and the whole bit, and just trying to avoid that type of activity as much as possible. All right. Have a good season, everybody.
Thanks, Nelson.
Thank you.
Hey, Michelle, just one thing.
Yep.
We don't have anything to do with if they have fans or not. We don't. It doesn't matter to us.
So,
according to the state, that doesn't phase us in the least. That's up to the administrators, right?
Yep, that was just kind of for your information. We have nothing to do with that. We're not enforcing anything with the fans, with any COVID protocols or anything like that. If someone is too close to you, you can always ask someone to have them moved back or whatever, you know, the same type of things you would normally do, right? Okay. John,
Michelle, can you
Barna's
hear
going
me?
to talk about Zebra Pay in a minute. I'm sorry, who?
It's Mike Almany.
Yes, hi.
Just one small request. If we do have another meeting, can you give me just a couple of days notice so I can let my work know?
Sure.
All right, thank you.
Yep, yeah. Yeah, I'll admit I didn't do the best communicating this meeting. I had it at the end of a different email a while back, and I realized it got a little lost in the shuffle. So I'm glad everybody showed up. We got pretty good numbers tonight, like 130 people I saw in here. That's great.
Michelle?
So good, everybody has info. Yes.
Are you recording this meeting and then you can put it up on the website for those that didn't make it can sign in and get it?
I am. I'm recording from Jeff on.
Okay.
Because I stopped recording our, entry chit chats. All right, so John Barna, you're up.
Hey,
Do
everybody.
you want the screen? Anything you need to present or no?
Yeah, who, me? Yes. Let me get off I'm on here, right?
You're on there.
Okay, good. Good evening, everybody. It's just a couple quick things regarding Zebra. It's still a progress in work. Basically, Harry and I discuss every morning what we're going to do with Zebra. He basically gets on the phone and waits and gets put in a virtual waiting room to deal with their tech. And we're trying to answer as much as we can. The program, there isn't anybody who likes the program, so let's cut it to the chase. I still have to use it. Both the Shore chapter and the Cape Atlantic chapter are petitioning to go back to Arbiter. At $6 a name, it's not worth it. Plus NJSIAA does have the right to say what program we use. Having said all that, let me go through a few things with scheduling. I am out to the 10th. I'm trying to stay ahead of the curve as much as I can, simply to give everybody notice because things just changed dramatically. This afternoon, started raining at 2 o'clock, so what games we had basically got canceled. There were people who went to Delran. He was late to cancel. The rule on a game where they haven't canceled and you arrive is you're entitled to a half fee. At this point, the fee is $59 because it's a scrimmage. So you're entitled to half of that, $29.50. I will ask, please verify all assignments even more so this year. Problems with Zebra are I can double book, I can triple book, I can put the same game in 5 times. Mr. Rambo notes he has one opponent on Friday where somebody else told him it's another opponent. The things that Arbiter prevented, Zebra allows. I had Steve Merritt in at 4 o'clock at 2 different places on the 9th. I don't know how I can do that, but the program allowed it. And we're just trying to catch it. Right now, Clearview and Washington Township are on quarantine. Their games for this week have been canceled and will be moved back. I suspect as we get further down the road, we're going to be like the opening week of the Phillies and the Marlins, where they're going to push games back, and all of a sudden they're going to play 7 doubleheaders the last week to get their seasons in. Scheduling is still kind of odd. On the 9th, had games way up north and way down south and nothing in the middle. And on the 9th, had all the games in the middle, nothing up north in Burlington County and nothing down south in Salem County. It is what it is. If you send me a text, put your name to it. I see phone numbers, I don't see names. And all of a sudden I'm trying to figure out who really did send me the message. Sorry, hang on. Spam calls I love. You're starting to see some school administrators are admitting they're just going to take it 2 weeks at a time. Gloucester Catholic, Pennsville has senior night on Thursday night, opening day. Gloucester Catholic has senior night on Monday night, opening home game for them. You get the idea. The contact information in Zebra isn't the best. We're trying to update it, but the schools have to do it. For example, the Seneca AD has changed, but the old AD information is in there. If the more information we know, the more Harry and I can go and work and fix it. If you've got specific requests, you've got to be at a certain place at a certain time on a certain day. I'll try to work around you. And please keep your calendars updated. It is driving me crazy trying to put things in only to find out you really weren't available. Zebra Pay, as far as we know, you cannot sign into Zebra Pay right now. I'm aware of one referee who went to Gloucester City last week and got paid via paper check minus $12. It's written into the Zebra contract. I'll have to argue that. I went to Gloucester City yesterday just to see what was up. And all she did was take down my address and said, it's up to us to worry about it. Great, thanks. If you look under the NJSIAA dot when you sign in the Zebra and look under officials, you can find a list of ZebraWeb schools. For the Lenape Regional School District, it just says Lenape High School. It's all 4 high schools. But if it's a Zebra Pay school, it's in that thing. It's not in the SJSOA. Finally, any questions from anybody? Great.
Hey, John.
Yes.
With the Zebra Pay, if we can't sign into it, how are we going to get our money?
I've had a dozen emails in the last day about Zebra. It, like everything else, it has not been set up yet. Jeff noted at the start of this meeting, we went to a meeting in December and we were told We were told when we were going to get the program, January, we didn't. We were told we were going to have a play period of 2 or 3 weeks, and then we would have formal training. Never got that. Now, COVID did come along and sort of mess things up. To their credit, when we can reach out to them, they will fix a lot of the things we can do. But there are still so many aspects that Arbiter had that Zebra does not have that are literally, dealing with it. If I have a 4 o'clock in Salem and a 6 o'clock in Shalleck, the programs tell me I can put the same referee on both games. The reality is you can't get across 20 miles of Route 40 in that 25 or 30-minute period. I can't tell between a varsity referee and a sub-varsity referee. I have to go off of a cheat sheet. It does not tell me. Chuck, you live in Malka Hill. I know that because I have to look at a sheet, but the program does not tell me if I see a game, say at Seneca. It shows you as available. Now, reality-wise, why would I send a guy who lives in Gloucester County all the way up to the upper part of Burlington County? It's really nerve-wracking to put the games in the right place. The other thing is when you assign, I may put you in a spot, and then as I get through the day, hey, there's another referee that would be a better fit. Let me move you elsewhere. By the time I'm doing it, half of you guys have already confirmed your assignments, which is good and bad. But at the same point, I'm trying to get as many referees to work, and I'm trying to get as many games as possible covered. And at times, you move somebody around. Somebody can travel a little further. Somebody is a little more flexible. Somebody who lives in Haddon Heights can go north. They can also go south. Somebody who lives in Penns Grove really doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of south to go to. Certainly can't go west. There's the river. So the program is frustrating. I appreciate your patience. And if I can figure out Zebra Pay, I'll let you know.
John?
Yes, Joe.
Quickie question is, how are you assigning or wording, or how's it going to work with you when you assign a varsity game piggybacked with a JV game if there's going to be a JV season at that particular school?
There are, we have one thing that works in our favor. When the Indian schools are playing the Indian schools, those games are at 2 o'clock. Now, if a game is at Lenape or Cherokee, I can get somebody on a JV game that starts off at 2, no overtime, and I can get them into Morristown. I get them in Rancocas Valley, and I probably get them in the Burlington Township. The question is finding days where those games all match. I'm going to try it. Again, if I can put a double header to make something work, it'll be fine. Again, Morristown's not starting any game until 4:30. Delran and Burlington Township are not starting until 4:15. Again, I did Gloucester City Woodstown girls yesterday. The game was supposed to start at 4 o'clock. The bus didn't leave Woodstown till 3:30. We're going to have, again, tremendous issues with busing and patience. And if you have a double header, you remind your partner at the other end and the school at the other end, look, you'll be there when you get there. Other than the 8th, 9th, and 10th of November when daylight savings time ends, and if we can get that far into the season, sorry, folks, I'll worry about that then. But right now we have enough sunlight. We get to 6:45 right now.
So the rest of the questions on here that I see are all Zebra Pay related, which, we're waiting for answers. So we can always have another one of these, not that everyone has to attend, but the options there if you wanted to get walked through it once we finally have answers from them. But
Harry, are you on, Harry Chambers?
What did you say?
Is Harry Chambers on? He should be.
He was. Yeah, Harry. There he is.
Michelle, I had a question on the chat, but it's not Zebra related.
You had, okay, I'll look through. Harry, John was asking you something?
No, I was checking into any other information he has regarding Zebra Pay other than we keep trying to check with him every day.
Don, where'd you say that was, we could find the list of the Zebra Pay schools?
Under NJSIAA, when you sign on, there's 2 dots on the left. One says NJSIAA, the other one says SJSOA.
Right.
All right. All right. All right. Harry, hit unmute. Go down to the bottom left and click off the mute button. Yeah, I keep hitting it, but I don't. All right. All right. I'll figure it out then. Hang on. That was Harry on the real phone. He can't unmute. Michelle, do you know how to unmute him?
I did unmute him.
Okay.
He's unmuted.
Okay. All right, let's go back to the last question. I'm sorry, John. John, I'm sorry.
You're talking about the Zebra.
Oh, Chuck,
Web
I'm
schools.
sorry. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
You're telling us that NJSIAA for the ZebraWeb
There are
schools?
2, when you log on, there's 2 buttons. One says NJSIAA, the other one says SJSOA. Click on the NJSIAA and then you'll see the black and white bar up top. Go under officials and it'll list Zebra Pay schools.
Someone said there's only 6 to 7 in our area that are using it, that are listed as using it right now. So I'm sure.
Correct. I think Pensauken definitely came off. It looks like Williamstown came off and Haddonfield came off.
It looks like our chapter still has availability to go in the Arbiter. And if you do that, you can still see all the officials and their contact information and the school information. But we don't have that information available to us in Zebra.
I'm trying, there are 2, there's actually 3 separate lists that are available that I get to see. And they're screwed up in many ways. We have a roster of SJSOA members that is spiked with athletic directors. We have a overall roster that you can't, I know Christy Hunter is the administrative assistant at Eastern, you don't. So it's kind of hard to distinguish between that. And then there's the roster with a whole bunch of dots that say, you passed the test, you're in good standing, you took the concussion course, you have a background check, and it's all red dots because NJSIAA has not been able, or Zebra has not been able to figure out what to do with that yet. So as of right now, you can't register, therefore you can't undergo a background check. You're listed as not being in good standing because they haven't been able to change the button colors. And they say you haven't taken the concussion course, which again, I can't deal with right now. So they're, again, to their credit, they are doing as much as they can. However, the program is far, far less than what we had a year ago.
John, Joe DePaul.
Yes. Hey, Joe, what's up?
I was at the Delran field today, and the AD called my house phone and said, that's a number he has for my cell number. What information do the ADs have on us as officials when they try to reach us?
They have whatever number you've signed. I mean, if you look at my profile, it only lists my cell phone number. I took my house line off, and it's whatever is listed there. Again, they're learning the program themselves. Most of them are calling us, contacting Harry. One issue is that they'll tell us they're missing these games. I go into the program and they're there. Then they tell me they can't see them. So I'm assuming they went off of an old list, or they only saw your home number and not your cell phone number. Reality is, from Anthony, the AD at Delran, is he made a late call at 3:15 when you guys were all on the road getting over there for a 3:45 game, and it started pouring, and it rained very heavily. So, you hope they only happen once or twice a year, and you only hope it happens to a couple people. We lost a lot. We had about 30 games today. We lost about 20 of them, but most of them got canceled between 1 and 2 o'clock. So.
All right. So I'm gonna cut this off for a minute because I feel like we're going down the ZebraWeb black hole, and we don't have that much Zebra Pay info. So when it is available, I know John and Harry are working hard to get that information, and I think it's just like it's a piece of shit, so they don't know how to incorporate it. So as soon as the information's available, we can send out another one of these in case, not a mandatory thing, just whoever wants to listen in to get all the info rather than trying to read through, additional emails or whatever. It's an option if anybody's interested in that. Unfortunately, once we have the information. All right, so I think all the questions I have so far that I've seen have been pretty much about ZebraWeb. I had one that was about, let's see, who is this? Mike Roddy. Hey, wherever you are. About, do you have to be behind a corner flag on a corner? So that was the, the suggested, the official positioning or whatever got moved from standing, between the goal and the, goalpost and the corner flag to now being behind the corner flag, more like an AR. So the, standard positioning is now changed, but that doesn't mean that you can't modify it if you need to modify to get a better look. So that's that. All right, John Hartnett is on now.
I am, yeah.
Isn't that only if the ball is on your side?
Correct.
Yeah,
yes.
Right.
Okay.
Correct. Yes, because the other way, you essentially have the same view, right? Yeah. But yeah, so Michelle brings up a good point, and that point is this: that in any situation, on any free kick or any other time during the game, that you are expected to be where you make the call, right? So if for whatever reason you're seeing that the team that's taking, say this is Blue's fifth corner kick, and they're just playing a ball long, it's going nowhere near. They've all been out swingers, and it's going nowhere near the end line. Then maybe you adjust a little bit and cheat a little closer to the other end, right? You don't go as far behind a flag. Again, situations, will dictate exactly what you're going to do. But like any other scenario, you are expected to be wherever you need to be to make the call, if that makes any sense. But yeah, generally speaking, that is your new position on corner kicks. Okay, does that make sense? First of all, sorry, I joined the meeting late. I was with the Colonial coaches going over rule changes. Okay. Chuck Kenner's on cocaine or something. His mouth goes a mile a minute. Didn't think I saw that, did you? I see everything. I'm a referee. All right, so I guess you guys want me to get. I don't know what you guys are. Did you guys, Jeff? I know you were thinking about doing something about a corner kick. Did you do that as well?
Yep. Yeah. Jeff just talked about the importance of the pregame, and that might be one of the things you talk about.
Absolutely cool. Good.
Okay. And we didn't talk about, any other stuff really regarding rules or rule changes.
No
Nelson talked about COVID protocols.
Okay. Did you talk about the newest one, what you just found out about 5 minutes ago about those gator masks? Is that right?
I did not.
You did not. Okay. So a gator mask, for everybody that doesn't know, from what I'm gathering in the last hour or so, is some type of mask that you'll kind of wear around your neck, and then you kind of pull it up as you need. It's not the type of mask and tied to your ears, it's a little different than that. But apparently the state has just found out, or we just found out from the state in the last hour or so, that those are permitted, even if they're wearing them around their neck. But again, so be mindful. Hopefully, people don't get, horsepower when someone grabs a jersey. But again,
here's a gator.
Yeah, he's breaking up. You can't hear him.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
I can't hear a word you're saying.
Oh, great.
Oh, well.
Start all over.
I have a gator mask for those who don't know what they look like.
And then put it on and show us how you can wear it. I would say one thing I would chime real quick about that is just
keep it like that. You look better.
Yeah.
Just because it's legal to wear it still makes it illegal if someone is pulling on it, right?
Sure.
Yeah, you don't want to choke anybody.
Yes, correct. Can you hear me now at all?
Yes, you're perfect now.
Okay, good. I was perfect earlier. But whatever. Chuck, stop hitting your head. All right. So where was I? All right. So the gator mask. Did everybody hear me about the gator mask before I got cut off? Okay. All right.
No.
No.
All right. And also for Doug Schmidt, I'm going to start talking a little slower. Okay. Here we go. Hopefully everyone had a chance to do the meeting that was done by Ed Severs. I know there was multiple chances to attend that meeting. If you have not, this will be the first you're hearing of this, and this will be a bit of a recap. So if I say something that you're not familiar with because you didn't attend the other meeting and you need more clarification, you're going to have to reach out to me because I don't want to bore everybody else who did attend the meeting. Does that make sense? Okay. So a few of the changes this year. Number one, if the ball becomes deflated during play, it is a dropped ball, right? Okay. From the spot, right? Where the ball became deflated, and it is dropped to the last team to touch the ball. One player from the last team who touched the ball, okay? All other players have to be with 4 yards, or 4 meters. We're going to say 4 yards away, right? Okay? Unless it's a PK.
Can't hear you, John.
You're breaking up again, John.
Any better?
Yeah, why doesn't everybody turn your video off now? See if it makes any difference.
That doesn't make a difference.
Well, John Hartnett's on mute now.
I just put myself on there to try and fix something real quick because I'm, All right, is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that perfect, Michelle?
Yeah.
All right. So where was I? All right. So we were talking about a drop ball, correct? Okay. All right. So again, if for the last statement I made was if it was a PK and it deflates on its way before the shot hits a crossbar or saved by a goalkeeper or something like that, then it would be a retake. If it happens afterward, then it would be a drop ball. Okay. All right. Next, stoppage of play due to an injury or some other unusual event, such as dog running on the field, etc. Okay. It would be a drop ball again to the team who last touched the ball, essentially, right? Okay. Unless that, it would be at the spot of the last touch. Okay. And if it was last touched inside of the penalty area, it would be dropped to the goalkeeper of the defending team only. Okay. If it's a drop ball, if you're dropping it inside the penalty area because that was the last touch, doesn't matter who touched it last, doesn't matter which team they were on. If it was last touch in the penalty area, okay? The restart is a drop ball to the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper alone. Everyone else has to get out of the penalty area. Does that make sense? Okay, and be 4 meters away in all scenarios. Okay. All right. So or goal area, because the goal area is inside the penalty area. So either way, am I breaking up with my sound again?
It did for just a second, but you're good. You're generally.
I don't know what's going on. So I've tried everything. So if it,
it's generally good. It's
okay.
Yeah.
So essentially, there will be no more contested drop balls in high school soccer. Okay. Does that make sense? Just remember that. That's the easiest way to remember it. If you have 2 players there, you're doing something wrong. Okay. All right. Next one has to do with the ball in and out of play after it hits a record.
John.
Yes, Jim.
You might want to let them also know that the drop ball they can dribble the ball away, but they don't have to pass it.
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't usually go over rules that have not changed. Okay. Rule has not. That's okay. No, I know you don't understand, but then I'll be going over all the other rules that have not changed. Does that make sense? I don't pick and choose. I only talk about the rules. Everything else stays the same unless I'm telling you now. Does that make sense for everybody? They were always allowed to, well, not always. In the last several years, they were allowed to dribble away with the ball. They are still permitted to do that. Okay.
I think Griffin's point could be it might look a little different because it's no longer contested.
But that was always the case. No problem. That's fine. Yes. So for any referee that did not know, on a drop ball for the last several years, you have been able to dribble the ball away. Hopefully everyone knew that. Okay. All right. Next one has to do with the ball hitting the referee. In the past, the referee was considered part of the field, correct? Kind of like dirt. right? Okay. Now, if the ball should hit the referee and stay on the field, ball has to stay on the field. We're not talking about the ball going out of bounds. That would be the old rule. So if red hits the ball, kicks the ball, hits me, and goes directly out of bounds, it's still a throw in for blue. Okay, that has not changed. But if the ball stays on the field and one of three things happens, it's going to be a drop ball. The ball either goes directly into the goal, okay, turns over, essentially changes possession, right? Or the one team starts a promising attack after the ball hits the referee. Okay. Obviously, the ball hits the drop ball.
Now.
Okay, any better?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so I'll say it again. If the ball hits the referee and stays on the field and one of three things happens, then it's a drop ball. Okay? Goes directly into the goal, starts a promising attack for either team, okay, or changes the ball turns over. Okay. In those cases, it would be a drop ball.
You have dial-up?
I do not. But I'm assuming we got to get through this a little quicker because I feel like I'm going to lose connection. So I'm going to go a little quicker. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, go.
All right. Okay. So if the ball hits the referee during normal course of play, someone's making a square pass, blue's passing to the other blue player, hits me because I'm fat and old and can't get out of the way anymore. It goes where it was intended. There's no turnover. It doesn't go into the goal. No one starts a promising attack. Just like in the past, we just carry on. That make sense?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Next one has to do with free kicks. If a defensive team sets a wall of 3 or more, any attacking player has to be 1 yard from that wall in all directions. Does that make sense? Okay. Essentially, arm's length is kind of what we're teaching here, right? Because the idea is just to keep them from touching each other. So, you know, we don't have to take out measuring sticks, but.
John?
Yes.
You're saying in all directions. So if the wall's set 10 yards, the offensive player can be in front of the wall by an arm's length or 1 yard in front of the wall facing the ball.
You're asking about the attacking player?
If you are an attacking player.
Yeah, the attacking player never has to be 10 yards from the.
Right, but I'm just saying they can be in front of the wall.
As in the past, never has to be. They have never had to be, an attacking player never had to be 10 yards from the wall.
Okay, I just want to clarify, because you see them integrate into the wall, but you don't see them usually in front of.
Sure, yeah, correct. Right, but again, yeah. Yep.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Okay. Next one has to do with indirect free kicks and referee signaling. Okay. So if you signal for you make a call and it's an indirect free kick. Okay. Everyone, I hope, knows that for indirect free kicks, we raise our arm in the air straight up until the ball either is clearly not going to go into the goal, or it's touched by another player. If a referee does not do that and the ball goes directly into the goal, it's a retake. If either referee, since it's high school, and there's going to be, normally 2, if either referee does not signal for an indirect free kick and the ball goes directly into the goal, it's a retake. Very simple. That's why one of the reasons it's important to mirror players or mirror each referee, correct? Okay. Penalty kicks. Okay. In the past, the goalkeeper had to have 2 feet on the line, blah, 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 right? Now the goalkeeper has to have 1 foot on or in line with the goal line. Okay. 1 foot. So yes, they could technically take a step forward. If that's your next question. Does that make sense? They can still move side to side, all that good stuff. The only thing is change.
John, good.
Is it better?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I'll say it again. On a penalty kick, a goalkeeper no longer has to have 2 feet on a line. They now may only have 1 foot on the line or in line. So on the line or in line with the goal line. Okay, they can still move to side. They can still, jump side to side, whatever it might be, right? just like they were able to do in the past. They could technically take a step forward if that's your next question, as long as one of those feet are on the line, right? Okay. And if they were to, for whatever reason, some of them, when they set up for a penalty kick, they kick the goalpost or jump up and hang on a net for a second. If they do that, you are to wait to signal for the kick to be taken until the goalpost stops moving or the net stops moving. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Okay. Next couple have to do with equipment. Okay. Essentially, any color mouthpiece is now legal. Okay. They essentially made clear and white mouthpieces legal. Not sure why they were illegal, probably because they were hard to see. But now you can have any color mouthpiece you want. Okay. The next one is going to piss a lot of referees / fashion police officers off. Okay. Jerseys no longer need to be tucked in. Okay. We're not the fashion police anymore. Get over it. Players do not have to tuck in their shirts. Okay. Very simple. Okay. I think this might have been gone over by someone else. If not, then you'll hear it for the first time now. If a player or coach comes within 6 feet of the referee to argue a call, they are expected to be ejected. Okay? Without warning, without exception. Okay? If they are...
John, does that mean they get the 2-game suspension?
That's where...
He's going to cover that. Oh.
They do not. They do not get suspended. Now, if they were say something else, if they were saying cursing at you or something like that, and you were going to eject them normally, then yes, they would get a 2-game suspension. But if it's only because they came to argue within 6 feet, then they would not be suspended. And they do not play short. They do not play short. That's the important part. Do not be sending players off for coming within 6 feet to argue a call and then making the team play short. Does that make sense? Okay. If they're doing something else within 6 feet that would get them normally ejected, you still do that. And they get the 2 games for that reason. Does that make sense? Okay.
Thanks.
Yep. So here's one thing I will ask personally. I know I personally, when I issue a booking or a red card, mostly yellow cards, I will bring a player closer so that I can speak to them and no one else hears what I'm saying. Okay. Let's not do that this year. Let's especially not do this and then throw a player out because you called them within 6 feet of you and then they dissented or argued a call, right? That wouldn't be fair to anyone. So if they're expected to stay 6 feet, then you do your best to stay 6 feet from them when you're dealing with them, players and coaches. Does that make sense? Chuck. Okay. So don't be calling coaches within 6 feet of you and then ejecting them. Okay. All right. So does anybody have any other questions? Hopefully that was not the first time that you heard that. And if it was, feel free to email me, okay, at rules@sjsoa.net. Okay. Then I can answer your questions a little more personally, okay, if you didn't make the meeting. All right. One other issue we have, did I go offline again?
No, you're fine. You're good.
Perfect. Okay. We have 4 new officials this season. We did not have a cadet class. Does anybody have a guess why we didn't have a cadet class? Just kidding. It's a COVID joke. Jesus Christ, you people are awful.
You were too lazy?
There you go. Yeah, I'm the lazy one. Here we go. Ready? All right. So we have 4 new referees. They are Sammy Card.
Oh, you guys can put your video back on Sammy Card, all the cadets, if you want to say hi.
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, if you're a cadet, if you just took the class with me this past, I guess technically fall at this point, then please jump online so people can see you. Okay. All right, those people are Sammy Card, Matt Hengy, Gary, I'm going to ruin your name. I'm going to call him COVID Gary because he took the class during COVID, but Gary Igzigi. Okay. And we have another returning referee, Bob Ashworth. I think he's done like 4 or 5 games. something like that. I think that's all he's done over the last 35 years he's been a referee. But anyway, Bob's back with us. Okay, so please, if you see any of those people out there, okay, and you're their partner, please send me a note. Give them some feedback, 2 or 3 good things, 2 or 3 things they need to work on. Okay, be polite, be respectful, talk to them the way you would expect to be talked to, right? We don't talk down to referees. If I find you talk down to referees, I'm going to report you to John Barna. God knows what he'll do. Okay. Any other questions for me?
We have at least 3 of them on right now. I don't know if any of them are by phone. So hi guys.
Welcome. Okay.
I think that's pretty much it. All right. So I don't have, go ahead. Hartnett, did you have anything else?
I do not. As long as everybody's okay, I'm okay.
Okay. So I don't have any other questions in the chat. Someone asked about, you know, how do you guarantee that your partner is going to see, you know, be on the same page with an indirect free kick? And that's always just having eye contact with your partner.
Sure, you should be mirroring your partner at all times whenever necessary anyway, right? But absolutely, we should be, every time we blow our whistle, at the very least, I mean, I do it during dynamic play, but at the very least, every time you blow your whistle, you should be looking at your ARs, whether you have just 1 other official with you or 2 others or a 4-man crew. You have to look at your ARs. They may have information that you need and or don't have, right? This should not be new. That should not be a question someone has. This has been years we're supposed to be mirroring people, right?
All right, that's all I have from the chat questions over here. So anyone that came on late, just super quick recap. There will be no in-person meetings for us. We may schedule an additional Zoom meeting. We might have a time on here in case we get information about ZebraPay and want to do a quick tutorial if you want to participate. Someone unmuted themselves. I don't know who, but
I think Doug is taking orders.
You want fries with that?
The Liberal Democratic Party establishment here is trying to keep some other white voters.
Okay.
Wait, there's a debate tonight? Never heard of it.
No. There we go. All right, I found them. Okay, and all of the resources are now on SJSOA.net, including lots of information about the rule changes. So if you have additional questions, read through that first, and then you can always ask your follow-up to John Hartnett. And I think that's all I have. All right, so we'll update you guys as we get more ZebraPay information, any ZebraPay information, and that's all I have. So any questions you guys have after this, go ahead and, you know, shoot by email. But otherwise, it was good to see everybody. And, you know, hopefully we can get together in person again soon.
All right.
Hey, Michelle, I got a question.
Oh. Yes?
I got in late, like 7:15, 7:20.
Yeah, who's this?
This is Rick Lodge.
Hello.
Okay. I'm new. This is only my 2nd year. So
okay.
I got in late, and then I had a call in. I couldn't get through the computer Zoom, so I had to call in. So I don't see any graphics or anything. All I can do is hear the audio. Is this a mandatory meeting, and how do I know if I had got credit for it, even though I showed up late?
Yep, you're here.
You're here? Okay, cool.
You're here.
But I want to make sure.
Yep. Just send me an email, and I'll make sure you have all the information from the beginning, and hopefully I'll be able to post this as well. All right.
Okay. I'll wait for it to get posted.
All right. Talk to everybody later. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.